Betrayal breaks more than a rule. It breaks the expectation that someone was safe with your truth, loyalty, money, body, or emotional world. Rebuilding trust is possible in some cases, but it is slower than an apology. Trust after betrayal depends on what happened, how serious it was, whether it was hidden, and what the betraying person does afterward. A single honest mistake and a long pattern of deception do not create the same repair process. Seriousness of the breach can make the surface story look simpler than the real situation. The first requirement is truth. The hurt person cannot rebuild on partial information that keeps changing. Trickle truth, denial, and minimizing usually deepen the injury because each new discovery feels like another betrayal. Partial information is often the detail that separates a quick reaction from a wiser response. A real apology names the behavior without blaming the injured person. "I lied about the money" is different from "I lied because you would have overreacted." Repair begins when responsibility is clear. Clear apology shapes what should be checked next. The betrayed person often needs to ask questions. Those questions may be painful, repetitive, or detailed. They are usually an attempt to rebuild reality after discovering that the old picture was false. Questions from the hurt person turns the idea into something practical rather than only theoretical. The person who betrayed trust may want the topic to end quickly because shame is uncomfortable. But rushing the injured person usually slows healing. Trust returns through consistent evidence, not pressure to move on. Not rushing healing deserves attention before the choice becomes harder to reverse. Transparency can help, but it should be purposeful. Sharing passwords, receipts, schedules, or updates may be useful for a time, especially when secrecy was part of the betrayal. It should not become a permanent surveillance system without a deeper repair plan. Purposeful transparency can quietly move the cost from the present moment into the future. Boundaries are essential. The injured person may need limits around contact, money, devices, friends, travel, or conversations. Boundaries are not punishment when they protect safety and create conditions for repair. Protective boundaries helps explain why the obvious answer may not be the best answer. The betraying person has to tolerate consequences. Loss of privacy, slower affection, anger, sadness, or distance may appear. If they demand instant trust, they're asking for the benefit of repair without doing the work. Tolerating consequences gives the situation its real-world weight. Patterns matter more than promises. A promise can be made in one evening. Trust is rebuilt through weeks and months of aligned behavior. Telling the truth when it is inconvenient, showing up on time, and correcting defensiveness. Patterns over promises is worth checking when the first explanation feels too neat. The injured person also needs support. Betrayal can distort self-worth and judgment. A trusted friend, therapist, or support group can help the person think clearly instead of carrying the whole pain alone. Outside support can decide whether the problem stays small or grows into a pattern. Forgiveness and reconciliation are not the same. Someone may forgive privately and still leave. Someone may stay and still need a long repair process. No one should be pushed into using forgiveness as a shortcut around accountability. Forgiveness versus reconciliation keeps the analysis tied to behavior, money, timing, risk, or trust. Some betrayals reveal a deeper unsafe pattern. If there is ongoing manipulation, abuse, financial control, or repeated deception without responsibility, rebuilding trust may not be the healthy goal. Safety comes first. Unsafe repeated deception belongs in the decision because it changes what action would help. Repair conversations work better when they are structured. Instead of fighting for hours, the couple can set a time, focus on one issue, pause when overwhelmed, and return later. Chaos can re-injure both people. Structured repair talks becomes more reliable when it appears more than once. The betraying person should bring up progress without waiting to be chased. Voluntary honesty matters. If every update has to be demanded, the injured person remains responsible for policing the repair. Voluntary honesty should be checked before accepting the most comfortable explanation. Trust also rebuilds through small ordinary moments. Keeping a simple promise, answering directly, being where you said you would be, and admitting small mistakes all become evidence. The relationship needs repeated proof that reality is stable again. Ordinary proof needs to be connected with the actual consequence. The hurt person may have triggers. A location, name, notification, date, or tone of voice can bring the betrayal back. Triggers are not proof that repair is failing. They are signs that the nervous system is still checking for danger. Triggers after betrayal keeps the topic grounded in daily life. A useful question is whether both people are working on the same problem. If one person is working on healing and the other is working on avoiding discomfort, the process will stall. Working on the same problem can be found in behavior, documents, timing, or repeated choices. Rebuilding trust matters because love alone does not repair broken safety. Care has to become behavior that can be observed, repeated, and relied on. Care becoming behavior makes the issue easier to name in plain words. The practical ending is this. Trust returns slowly when truth becomes consistent, responsibility stays visible, and the injured person is allowed to heal at a human pace. Without those conditions, the relationship may continue, but trust will not truly return. Rebuilding trust starts with clarity about what was broken. A vague apology may soothe the moment, but it does not repair the pattern. The hurt person usually needs to understand what happened, what was hidden, and what will be different next time. Repair also requires the betraying person to stop managing only the consequences. If their main focus is ending the discomfort, they may rush the injured person, minimize details, or demand that the past be forgotten. Real repair focuses on why the betrayal happened and what boundaries will prevent a repeat. The person who betrayed trust may want forgiveness to arrive quickly. But trust usually returns through repeated evidence, not emotional pressure. Consistency over time matters more than one intense conversation. The betrayed person does not heal on command. Some days may feel calm, and other days a reminder may bring the pain back. That does not automatically mean repair is failing. Trust often returns unevenly, through repeated moments where the truth is handled better than it was before. The hurt person also needs space to ask questions without being punished for still feeling pain. Repair becomes harder when the betrayed person is expected to comfort the person who caused the damage. A useful repair plan is specific. It may include transparency around the damaged area, clear boundaries, honest answers, and agreed actions when fear returns. Specific repair gives both people something real to observe instead of relying only on promises. Trust after betrayal is rebuilt when words, access, patience, and behavior begin to match. It may not return to the exact shape it had before, but with honesty and repeated repair, the relationship can become clearer than it was when the truth was being avoided.